We are live on this wonderful rock and roll Monday night.
It's a sweet shirt you got there, Scott.
This is an old one. This is old school. This is for 2001. Oh, God,
Vintage.
Vintage. That's right. And I got it. I got this T-shirt. I didn't mug somebody for it, so I did it.
Fine.
You had on the Rock and Isla T-shirt to go with the theme for tonight, and I said I got to go to. I knew what dresser drawer this one was in. I had to go. It was at the bottom. It'd been in there for a long time, but it's out now.
Just shake the dust off, and
if there's any Godsmack fans out there, this was the Wake the F Up tour
of 2001.
2001.
I was a freshman in high school.
I was
in 2001.
I was in narcotics in 2001 as a detective.
Dang, that's crazy.
But I did notice in the comments before we went live that Big Dog said he took a screenshot of my face in the thumbnail because it will make a good NFT. Yeah, I had to do a special just for the rock and roll theme there, a pose.
Yeah, I was asked to, and then they said, "Oh, look, Jenna's glugging, chugging, and knocking back. We'll use that."
Yep.
You know, breaking rules, very, very rock and roll with me.
I've tried to talk to you about that.
I know. I'm sorry.
John Bourne says Scott has a lot more shelves and bottles than the last time I watched a live stream. Well, it's been a while then because I've been pretty much about the same setup for a while now.
Just more society stuff.
Ooh, camera's kind of crooked. Better zoom back out.
Well, all I'm going to say about tonight's Outturn is if you watch these, you know that Scott puts water in pretty much everything. And I usually don't. But I will tell you that I have a jug of water tonight because, well, it's going to be a spicy Outturn.
We've got 6 whiskeys and only 2 of them are under 60% ABV.
Yes. So really just honing in on that, rock and roll theme. We're just going to blow it out of the water tonight, Scott.
Yeah, it's small sips. Small sips. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, shall we do a roll call and get into these?
Yep.
These whiskeys?
Scrolling back up to the top, looks like Joe Combs was the first one to comment, and then Big Dog.
Is Joe watching the game?
I don't know. Well, hopefully,
Joe,
you know what?
The game?
People can pause the game. They can DVR it. They can record it and then start it later. Just no spoilers. Don't put it in the comments how it's going.
There you
go. Dale Barbu is here. John Colleen, Big Ed, Ryan Mercer, T. Roy, Sean Spaeth, Tim Swope, Whiskey Sipper, Josh Taylor, Duke McHale, Bird Dog 2017, Important Whiskeys, Jonathan Hopwood, Trevor Dunbar, Warren Buff, Sanctus Vitae, David Markovitz, cheers from Chicago. Pickley Doo is here. Pickley Doo. Joshua Harbor, Tim Ottinger, Brian Baumstein, Ty Whitaker, I just said, I think. Steve Balzac is here. Lady K. Scrolling. Eric Waite, Whiskey Studies. Only 350 shopping days until Christmas. Get out the credit card, he said. Mr. Good Drinks is here. Where did I jump? My screen jumped on me there a little bit. Where did we go from Mr. Good Drinks? There we go. Looks like I've got about everybody. Jack Partial. Please hope there are peated offerings this month. I'm a new member and my first bottle is supposed to show up today. We may or may not have 1 or 2 peated whiskeys to showcase tonight. Mamuka 1977, Tommy JB, Ernie. About it. I think we're caught up.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Yep.
It's always better when we're together. So
now, I'm sure some people, if you want to comment, you've probably got the game on in the background, but you're paying attention to us and listening, I bet.
Well, we're going to taste 6 whiskeys tonight. And I feel like we should just jump in and do it. First outturn of the year. Like, let's just do it.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Hold on. Let me get into the banners. We're going to start with the 9-year-old. The youngest, we're going to start with the youngest and progress through them tonight. And Karai is tuning in now. He says hi to Scott and Jenna. Hi, Karai. Yep, we've got first one, spicy and sweet, 46.124. An exotic wood carving, 9-year-old Speyside, 64.2% ABV. We're starting off with a bang.
We're just, jumping in head first.
First fill ex bourbon barrel will be available. All these tomorrow, 1 p.m., $110. And I already poured this one. It's getting some air.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was going to be like way more intense, if I'm being honest. I was a little intimidated by this whiskey.
Yeah.
I was like, man, first whiskey of the day, 64.2%, 9 years old. I was like, this thing's just going to like latch into every like hair in my nose. And it didn't. It's actually quite, I don't know. It's more gentle than I thought it would be.
Citrusy and berries.
Very citrusy. I agree with you.
Yep. Cinnamons.
Yeah, this is like candied orange peel, baking spice, like cinnamon. It almost, those orange cinnamon rolls, like the orange glaze cinnamon rolls?
Yeah.
That's this.
I remember those.
Yeah. These are those. Orange glaze cinnamon roll.
Mm-hmm. I used to eat a whole can of those.
Yeah, and I kind of want one.
Yeah, very nice nose. And it's not real harsh coming out of there.
It's not at all.
64.2%. Wow.
All right, well, I'm going to taste it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm.
Watching you swish it like mouthwash, I'm just waiting for you to just like breathe fire.
That one's boy, I tell you what, there's some heat on that one, but it is right up front. Citruses and berries and a sweetness hit me. I mean, just as soon as got on my tongue. But yeah, nice cinnamons. Not for a 9-year-old, a lot on the palate on this one. Very nice cat. Yeah.
I'm getting I think nose and palate actually match really well on this. I think you do get that orange, that cinnamon, like that cinnamon roll, orange cinnamon roll with like a side of fresh like fruit, berries, raspberries, blackberries. And there's almost like and I don't know if it's the heat of it, but there is like a nice little like pepper, like a black pepper on the end of it.
Yeah.
That is really nice. This is not what I was expecting at all. So really
feels like a 12-year-old, at least does feel a little bit older. First fill bourbon barrel here. A lot of nice influence here from that cask. But yeah, spicy and a lot of pepper spiciness on that back end.
Yep. It's like on the sides of my tongue.
Yeah. Oak, nice oak in there with it.
Yeah, and I was gonna say there is like a nice I really like that malty kind of body in whiskey. I think that's why I like a lot of younger whiskeys, because they do carry that like really just malty, almost like raw kind of profile. And I am getting like a very faint whisper of that. And I really like it. I am so just pleasantly surprised by this whiskey. I'm going to taste it one more time neat, and then I'll add water.
Yeah, and Big Dog is asking, so is it exotic wood or is it an exotic carving? I think it's it's both. It's an exotic wood carving. No, exotic wood. But and then as soon as I read that, I thought bamboo. Like a bamboo shoots, if you eat, any stir fry or anything like that, and you put some bamboo shoots in there.
This is really good, actually. All right, I'm gonna add a little water. Yeah, I'm still getting just orange spice, a little malt, a little sweetness. This is like kind of breakfast whiskey, actually, for me. Like this would be it's malty. It's there is that like black pepper note on the end. It's really good.
We have to be good now, Ben.
Oh
Ben's
man.
Scott Friedland, I see. Tom R. tuning in. Oil Tasters drinking 4.282. Joshua Harbor. A couple names tonight that I haven't seen before. So if you're new, welcome.
All right, I'm going to tell you right now. I like it better neat. I like it better neat.
It's a palate puncher, neat, but one drop of water here. I'm not getting anything different.
Yeah.
But man, it really is mouth coating and saturating. And for a 9-year-old, really hangs around. Great finish.
I like that with water, it like pulled all of that like orange and like cinnamon down for me, and it brought the black pepper note. Like it amplified that black pepper note. And so I think that's why I like it neat, just because you get that orange cinnamon roll that now I'm going to have to make happen this week.
Ooh.
Really good.
I just got a very slight hint of, I hate to say peat, but a little bit of smoke. Could be barrel char with a second drop of water on it.
Yeah.
And the very tail end, there's some definite kind of maybe a very light peat or a barrel char for sure.
Yeah. Warren made a note that this distillery has come up a lot during my time in SMWS, and I've yet to get a bottle. So kind of cool note about the society. Like this is Cask 124, and we've bottled, quite a bit from this particular distillery. And I know it's a component of David Beckham's.
Oh, Haig?
Yes, Haig. I know it's a main malt for that. But I think this distillery has such a wide range, and we've seen it in many different flavor profiles, from dirtiff to spicy and sweet to juicy oak and vanilla. We had a juicy oak and vanilla from this distillery I think it was late last year or mid to late last year. That was just, blew me away. So I've had a lot of particular whiskeys from our cask from this distillery, and they have just such great range and just really beautiful whiskeys. So if you've not jumped on this particular distillery, I say give it a chance. You will be pleasantly surprised.
Two rounds of water here, and it turned into a strawberry sundae.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like vanilla ice cream, berries, sweet cream, whipped cream.
What kind of water are you using?
That's on the nose. Yeah, it really has it definitely turned creamier, almost marshmallow.
Awesome. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go back because baby sips.
GCAP is tuning in now. Drew Bills. Woo. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Orange cinnamon roll.
Mm-hmm.
For me. I'm going to read can I read the tasting notes? Do you mind?
Go.
All right. So this says fragrant wood and blood orange and cinnamon jelly before dilution added Thai ginseng, general tonic, and seasoned sweet potato and carrot soup. I don't know if I get carrot soup.
Or sweet potato.
Or sweet. Maybe sweet potato souffle.
If you're thinking of a sweet potato with, marshmallows and brown sugars and cinnamon on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So JT also asked a good question. Are adding one drop at a time or a specific measurement? So I actually don't have my dropper in front of me. I'm going to actually grab one. So I kind of did just the pour trick. But I think, Scott, you have a dropper. Yeah.
I've got a dropper. Now, so I've gone to calling it like a round of water, the first round of water, the second round of water, because most of the time it's more than just a drop. If I've got, this is a light pour here, and we didn't show you. Let me pour a little bit more here and show you the color on this one. But if I've got an ounce pour of this one, and it's 64%, to show the color on this one. It's pretty pale. 9 years in a first fill ex bourbon barrel. But with the first round of water, with this pour right here, I'm probably going to add 5 or 6 drops of water to it just to try. Because I really don't know that one drop. I mean, I suppose it depends on your palate, but then as it gets down lower, I might go to 1 drop, maybe 2 drops, just depending on how much whiskey is left, what the ABV is, how much I've already added to it. It's kind of a varying, factor.
Yeah, I had a very tiny like baby pour. I'm like the queen of baby pours. Even in like when I just casually enjoy a whiskey, I like maybe pour myself like half an ounce. I don't know if it's just like repetition or what it is, but I'm like pretty good at mastering the baby pour. So I didn't really have a lot of whiskey in my glass when I added water. So I actually may have added a little too much water to that, but I just fished out a dropper. So
yeah. Let's see. I see Ryan Mercer is tuning in now. Adam Clary, Jimmy Jazz, and Whiskey Franco are all watching now. People still coming in. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. On to number 2.
Yeah. That was it. I was very pleasantly surprised with that. So
yeah, and so I do have two of these I've already filmed reviews for. But I got them so late I didn't get them all shot. Usually I have most of them shot before we get into the tasting, but
yeah,
that was one I had not tasted or had any notes on yet.
I'm excited for this one, actually. You usually see this distillery in sherry.
Yeah.
So I was very excited to see it in Juicy Oak and Vanilla and in Bourbon and French Oak. So, or Toasted Oak Barrique. I'm excited for this.
Now, I thought you referenced Distillery 100 on that last one. Was that a oops?
Did I say Distillery 100?
I thought so, yeah. Because then I was like, when I pulled up, I was like, oh, wait, this is a 100. The last one was 46. 46. 124.
Yeah. This is, I don't know. It's been a long day.
That's just the first one.
Yeah. Oh gosh. This is all downhill from here.
So Cask, or I'll let you introduce this one. I did the last one.
The nose on this is exciting.
Yeah.
So this is Cask 100.35, a roller coaster, 11-year Speyside in an ex-bourbon hogshead, and then went into a refill toasted French oak barrique in our juicy oak and vanilla flavor profile at 60.6% ABV. So yeah, like I said before, we typically see this distillery in sherry. We see it in Oloroso, Pedro Jimenez, but typically this is in our Dirtiff or our deeper and dried fruits flavor profile. So really excited to see it in juicy oak and vanilla and in ex-bourbon and French oak. Oh my gosh, the nose on this is like beautiful.
Yeah. So,
oh my gosh.
Bourbon hogshead and then the refill toasted French oak barrique on this one, but a lot of influence. That last one was 9 years old and very pale. Most of the color on this one is coming through from that toasted French oak barrique.
The color is really beautiful. Oh my gosh, the nose on this though is like, what even is that? It's like creamy. If like caramel could be creamy.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
there's almost like a burnt toast with a jam or a preserve, like a berry jam.
I agree. Like it's like, yeah, like caramel, toasty, jammy.
Mm-hmm.
So I for breakfast, I make a big piece of sourdough toast and I get it with lots of butter and get it nice and toasty in the pan. And then I put clotted cream on it. And then I do like blackcurrant jam or like strawberry preserves or some kind of, I'm like jam queen. And I want to eat that with this whiskey. Like I want to pair that like perfect bite of that clotted cream and jam crunchy toast with this whiskey because I think that would be absolutely delicious. Holy cow.
George Kaplan is asking, do we know what was previously in that French oak barrel? No, we don't. That's all we have on the website with this one is the retoasted French oak barrique. Yeah. There's There's some dark fruits, a lot of spices. There's some cinnamon and some nutmeg underneath here. Toasted, everything toasted.
Yep. Like toast, like actual toast.
Right. Yep. Caramels.
The fruit that I'm getting the most is like strawberry, like stewed strawberry.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Very nice. I'm going in on the palate.
You're going in? All right. Well, tally ho. Oh.
Wow.
That's stunning.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot going on this palate. This is
wow.
Rich. There's a lot of depth on this one. All of those toasted oaks, fruits. I like the strawberries, and even it's still, again, like the first one, some blackberries, raspberries, vanilla, burnt vanilla, toasted vanilla, cinnamon. Wow.
Yeah. I wanted to really quick before I tap in on the tasting notes. It is I think Warren asked if it's refill toasted French oak or retoasted French oak. And this was 7 years in a bourbon hogshead, and then it was transferred to a refill toasted French oak barrique. So kind of give you the exacts on that. That is what it is. Yeah, on this one, I'm getting like, there's like a nice little herbaceous note actually on this, and like tea and honey, and it's like yeah, toast and tea and toast and jam. Like,
yep,
it's there is like a really nice, like luxurious almost depth to this. Like it tastes very just, I don't know, luxurious is like the best word I can come up with. It has great mouthfeel. There's a little bit of that like dusty quality in this that I love in whiskey, like that old booky thing. This is beautiful, a really beautiful whiskey.
A little bit of leather, I'd say, with the old books.
Oh man. All right, I'm gonna taste it one more time, neat, and then I'll add thing water.
Slight tropicalness. Almost, I was going to say juicy fruit gum, kind of really tangy, tart, tropical fruit. Can't necessarily pin anything down here, but just some nice, and that's okay. With water, my first round of water here brought that out. That really kind of juicy, fruity, tropical fruitiness. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's kind of, I mean, a great name because it is kind of all over the place. You definitely get that, herbaceous, jammy, toasty, black tea, honey, booky kind of thing. And then that second sip I just took was like so fruity and so like just big and bold with fruit. And when you said juicy fruit, it's like, now it's all that's in my head.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're spot on with that. Like, it is big, it's fruity. I don't know, this whiskey's like, has a little bit of something for everyone, maybe minus peat. There's a little spice, there's a little fruit, there's like tropical, there's black tea, it's all over the place. Really, really fantastic.
I see Stuart Wright is tuning in now. Hi, Stuart. He says, how many years in the refill toasted French oak barrique? This was, I had to look this up, 7 years in the bourbon hogshead. So then 4 years in that refill toasted French oak barrique. And I think I've said retoasted a couple of times. It's brought up the previous question, but it's a refill toasted French oak barrique, not a retoasted. Right. My bad.
The tasting notes on this are kind of short. on the bottle. And I don't know. I mean, okay. I mean, we're pretty close, minus the mushroom thicket. But it says a mad and enjoyable ride. Spice cupboards, jam conventions in a mushroom thicket. Embrace the weirdness.
Your mud room thicket and herbaceousness. I just got clay, kind of an earthy clay.
Oh yeah. I don't really get mushrooms, but
large woolly bugger just tuned in. Did I miss any Islas? Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. The Islas are, unless they're unpeated, the Islas will always come at the end, and we're not to the end just yet, sir.
You know what, Scott? I'm not going to add water to this.
Oh, you should.
I'm not. But I'm empty.
Oh, well, yeah. All right. Don't pour more. We've got, and this was the 2 of 6 that are, or 4 of them are over 60%. So this was the second one. Now, Sean Spaeth is asking, are certain types of wine specific to barriques, or is barrique just reference to the size? Yeah. So, and then Stuart Wright had also, or no, maybe that was it. Yeah, barrique is usually going to refer to as a wine barrique. It's had wine in it. Are there, I don't know, Jenna, do you know, are there certain types of wines that are particular to barriques?
You know, wine is not my forte, so I do not want to speak on that to be exact. So I'm not sure if we have any sommeliers or wine aficionados in the chat.
Yeah, Eric Waite may be able to answer.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't see it. And now that I was thinking, I don't think fortified wines use barrique. So it would be, your lower ABV, maybe white wines or red wine, Chardonnays type that might be used.
John Bourne says mostly Bordeaux.
Ah, nice red.
Yeah, there we go. We're just here to talk about the whiskey.
Yep.
Wine is like, I love wine and I enjoy drinking it. But I don't know enough about wine yet to chime in on that.
Nicholas Longton, haven't seen him tune in before, but he says, give us the Isla. You have to wait towards the end for the Islas.
If there even is an Isla.
If there is any.
We could have just, Fireball at the end.
Uh-oh. You gave it away.
How do you know these are the ones that we're tasting? Maybe it was a trick.
Yeah. Sleight of hand.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you're looking over here. Something else is happening over here.
I mean, look at all the ones Scott has. We could be tasting 8 jillion dirtifs behind his shoulder. Okay, Eric did chime in. He says, yep, mostly Bordeaux, but it's just a general word for cask. So yeah, I don't know what was in that particular cask. If what was in it before, it could have been whiskey, could have been wine. I'm not really sure. We unfortunately don't have that information, but a Bordeaux barrel.
Tim Ottinger, quick Google says barrique is also known as a Bordeaux barrel. So
I have a Bordeaux, but she has 4 legs and a tail and drools a lot.
Huh? A Bordeaux.
Yeah, Dog de Bordeaux, French Mastiff.
Ah.
Got to get her like a little mini barrique to wear around her neck.
All right. We'll go to a sweet, fruity, and mellow.
Sweet, fruity, and mellow. All right. Oh, we're cruising along.
I need a sip of water here, too. Or a couple sips. For those that tuned in late, rock and roll was the theme. Jenna put on her Isla rock and roll, looks like Slayer t-shirt. The only thing I had was a vintage 2001 Godsmack tour t-shirt. Anybody else was at this concert or saw this tour? If you're out there, it was the Wake the F Up tour.
Who did they tour with?
It says on the back. Shoot, that's a good question. Godsmack and
you got to turn your shirt around.
I don't think it says it just got Godsmack on there. There was they did some tours though. I saw one. It was Godsmack, Creed, and
and
It might have, I think it was Metallica. One time Metallica came here and it was Creed, Godsmack, and Metallica. Oh, that was later though.
Creed and Metallica?
Yeah.
All right.
If I remember right, I think that
In
was
the
there.
2000s,
That
early
was an
2000s.
awesome one.
I wasn't really going to a lot of those. I was going to a lot of like Warped Tour and
Trevor Dunbar was in kindergarten in 2001.
What?
Yeah.
Kindergarten in 2001?
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
you
gosh.
go up 26, 27 now?
I was like, oh my gosh, you're a baby.
Sean Spade says his entire closet is full of black and death metal band shirts. He's cultured like that.
That's awesome.
All right. Whiskey number 3. We get a break from our 60% ABVs. We're going down to a really low 55.3% ABV. Cask 95.55 makes your day. Go ahead, punk. Make my day. 15-year Speyside, sweet, fruity, and mellow. Ex-bourbon hogshead, and then first fill Pedro Jimenez hogshead. This one, before somebody asked, was 13 years in the ex-bourbon and 2 years in the first fill XPX.
That smells like straight up cotton candy.
Really?
Like straight up cotton candy.
John Colling is curious what everyone's first concert was. Mine was Aerosmith, Permanent Vacation.
Okay, well, mine's not that cool. My mom took me, because I grew up in Texas, took me to a Clint Black. It was like a country music
You bet.
thing. And it was like Clint Black and Garth Brooks and Brooks and Dunn and probably Reba McEntire. It was like all of those. That was, and I was little, like maybe 7. That was my first.
That'd have been a good concert. Yeah, David Markovitz says 55% a beginner's dram. Yep, but it's the third one tonight. So,
ZZ Top,
oh wow,
Waylon, Aerosmith, Beach Boys. That's awesome! Oh my gosh, Mayor was Bryan Adams. That's so awesome. Paul McCartney.
I wear my sunglasses at night.
Jimmy Buffett.
So I can.
Wow, this is cool. That's a great question. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah, Big Dog points out that Jenna, all of those people from your first concert are still performing.
I do know. My mom loves ZZ Top, so I do know that. And Trisha Yearwood and Garth Brooks. I never really got into country music. I think it's because I was forced to listen to it when I was little. So I still get it through my mom and when I go visit her. So and saw Cake. They Might Be Giants. Oh, Max, I bet that was a great show. Boston. I could do this for John Bourne. 9 Inch Nails. Oh, I'm jealous. AC/DC, Tom Petty. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Limp Bizkit, Deftones, Ozzy. Oh, what was that tour? What was that tour that they would do? It was like Guar and Ozzy and I think like Avenged Sevenfold. It wasn't Warped Tour. It was like more of like a, oh God, I can't remember. I'm old now. This is rad.
Oh, I better get you back to the whiskey.
I'm sorry, I can't.
All right, I'm going to get into the whiskey here.
Reading everyone's first concerts.
Kind of like the last one, though. Really, the first thing that jumped out on me was a toasted barrel on this one and syrupy sweetness. Ooh, dessert spices.
Oh my gosh, Tim Ottinger saw Miles Davis. What? I'm sorry. I know I'm off topic here, but I would lose my freaking mind if I got to see Miles Davis. Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous, Tim. Okay, I'm done. I'm not even going to read the comments anymore. Back to whiskey.
GCAP got to go to Pink Floyd.
Oh, what the heck? And yes, Warren, you're right. And Whiskey Franco, that was it. It was Ozfest. That's right. Dang. All right, I'm not reading them anymore. Stop talking to me.
The toasted oak notes and the spice, the kind of dessert spices, creme brulee. berries, dark sweetness,
Whoa.
toasted vanilla.
I just tasted it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. 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 Yep.
Yeah. Very different from the first two.
Mm. Mm. Ooh. Nice, full, rich, sweet, syrupy sweet, marmalade. Nice, just not a PX bomb here. 2 years.
No, not at all.
There's a lot. I think there's a lot more of that bourbon hogshead influence here than there is the PX. Obviously, not nice influence, especially by the color from that PX.
I'm getting like, okay, so I always have to relate this to like stuff I eat. So it tastes like a coconut cream, like the wee yogurts, the coconut ones are my favorites. And this reminds me of that. There is like a lovely custardy, creamy coconut note to this whiskey that is just really good. But like the nose, I'm getting like almond extract almost.
Oh, yeah. I did shoot my review of this one earlier today, but just freshly baked, hot, steaming cinnamon rolls, slathered with cinnamon, brown sugars, and vanilla frosting.
You know what's so crazy is that when you're smelling a whiskey and you're not thinking about what you're smelling, but somebody is telling you what they're smelling, it is literally the craziest thing. You're like inhaling these aromas, and the profile of what you're smelling is changing as you're hearing what somebody is saying to you. Like I'm listening to you say all of those notes, like as I'm smelling it, and it's just like it's just like changing as you're talking. It's so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still getting like coconut, almond.
I just got peanut butter. I don't know if I've ever gotten just like peanut butter before, but yeah, especially on like a sherry or a PX. But it's probably your almonds, and even that almond extract is there. But yeah, just on one inhalation there, I was like, creamy peanut butter. That might even be chunky peanut butter. I don't know. They're pretty similar. They're pretty similar on the taste wise.
Yeah, like coconut almond pastry, like puff pastry. It's like there is like a little fruitiness to this, like you said, marmalade. I think is a great note. And then there's like I don't know what that is.
Tom R says I gained weight listening to Scott describe the whiskeys. Oh, yeah, and Whiskey Franco gets peanut brittle. Happens for him a lot, usually with Oloroso. Wow. And a drop of water now.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm pouring such like tiny little pours that I take like 2 tiny sips and then it's gone.
More of the spiciness, more of the cinnamon, nutmeg with water coming out. Still everything else, even raspberries, strawberries, almost like a strawberry glaze on top of that cinnamon roll with all that the brown sugar and caramel, cinnamon.
Yeah, I wanted to say strawberry, but I was like, is it just because strawberries are stuck in my head? I'm saying strawberry. But it's like fruit roll up. It smells like a fruit roll up, like the red fruit roll ups.
Oh, yeah. Those are strawberry, right? Wow. Robbie Robson says that Jenna is saving up for a full dram of the green tops.
Perhaps. And John is asking how I coat my palate with such small pours. So again, I'm like the queen of small pours. Even when I'm just drinking whiskey casually, I always pour very little amount. but I'm able to coat my whole palate with the sip that I take in. I just don't take it. I could swish it like Scott does. That's how much like I'm sipping, but I just don't put a lot in my glass. So I think it looks like less than I'm actually tasting.
This one feels older than 15 years to me as well. Feels 17, 18. Nice finish.
Yeah, I mean, this is just this is like one of those whiskeys that like, it's like the end of the day, you just want something that's just gonna like check every box. It's like elegant. It's got tons of flavor, both nose and palate. It's just one of those whiskeys that's like easy to sip, easy to enjoy. And it's really good. I'm gonna read the tasting notes.
Go for it.
All right. So it says, like a smile from a passerby, which was followed by a loving embrace. Do you smile at people and then hug them that you're just passing by?
Every once in a while.
Yeah, yeah. Diluted chocolate dipped marzipan almond horns and coconut cheesecake. I didn't get the chocolate part. Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe like milk chocolate. Like, so I have a drop of water in here on the nose. I could see like a milk chocolate, like a faint milk chocolate on the nose, but I definitely get the coconut for sure.
I see Max Kruger tuning in now. Aaron Ellerman.
Yummy.
Yeah, nice mouthfeel. Nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
On that one. And we are going down to number 4. Again, just barely under 60% ABV, 59.3% on this one. I'll let you introduce this one.
Oh my gosh, you're moving so fast. I don't even have a poured in my glass yet.
Me neither.
Oh my gosh. All right. So the next cask in our spicy and sweet is called Walk the Talk. This is an 18-year Highland and a first fill ex-bourbon barrel at 59.3% ABV. And I'm not going to read the tasting notes.
Not yet. Not yet. I pour a hefty pour here so I can show the color. Probably about what you'd expect. Well, no, yeah, for an 18-year-old first fill, about the color you'd expect there. Nice golden, darker golden hues.
If you were to if you had like a leather briefcase that you packed away in a box and put in your attic for like 20 years, and then opened that box and took that leather briefcase out and it was like dusty and like kind of like dry and crunchy, and like that smell that would come out of
Dry
that, like
crunchy?
Yeah, like leather that's not been like treated, gets dry, like the edges. That smell is what I'm smelling in this cask.
I'm looking. My nose might be getting a little burned out, but
coffee beans. Do you have coffee beans?
I do.
I think I do too. Somewhere. Hold on. Aha.
That's a good tip for those watching as well. Let me grab something.
I got the beans. And yes, JT, I would make a terrible poker player. I wear every emotion on my face. I would lose horribly.
I just had to grab a bag of coffee.
Just the whole bag.
And it smells good. I want some.
It does smell good. I know. That's why I'm still smelling it. I was like, man, a cup of coffee sounds kind of good right now.
Wow. All right. Let's see if that reset me.
Oh, all right. Whew. Or what's the other trick? Smell your arm?
Oh, the back of your hand?
Your ditch. Smell your ditch. Isn't that what it's called?
I've never heard it called that.
So my husband's a tattoo artist, and when you get tattooed here, they I mean, I don't know if all tattoo artists do this, but I think that's what he calls the ditch.
And a little trivia fact for those watching. Jenna, has your husband done any of your tattoos?
None. 0. He says I'm perfect just the way I am. What kind of bullshit is that?
Malty, and I just got like a lime.
I can see that. Yep. Like
Yes,
key lime.
Coffee, yeah, key lime pie. Coffee helped there, actually. Good call. Ooh. Actually burned the nostril there a little bit with that one. A little too far in.
This is like familiar. It's a familiar smell.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get in on the palate on this one.
I know. I'm with you.
Cheers.
It is definitely like key lime. Cheers. Yeah, if you like shoved a key lime pie in an old leather briefcase and then tucked it away in your attic for 20 years and then went back to get it. That's the smell.
Yeah. Age is showing itself on this one right up front.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Of course, we've progressed, age-wise through the night, but this is definitely, you can tell it the oldest. Nice. I mean, as these whiskeys get older, just that oak, that cask influence just really becomes saturating and just really penetrates everything a lot quicker and hangs around longer. That's happening here. Creamy, though. Creamy marshmallows on top of that key lime pie. Scent doses of cinnamon. I gotta go in. I gotta get my second sip here of this one.
I'm gonna let you finish waxing lyrical about this whiskey, and then I'll chime in.
Tobaccos, slight tobaccos, not a whole lot. Definitely the old book, some leathers on this one.
Yep.
Wow. Again, berries. We had berries a few times tonight. There's berries here. Slight toastedness. I'm not looking for the key lime pie I had on the nose, though. I'm not really finding it on the palate. Go ahead. Your turn.
Yeah, so I think the parts of the nose have definitely come through on the palate. So this would be in like an attic that's like made of all wood, like cedar or mahogany. I don't know. What do they make wood attics out of? That's like fancy wood, all framed in wood. Maybe it's wood paneling. Yeah, something like that. It's just, I'm thinking like dusty woods, and I get the key lime or like that a little bit bitter note, which could be the oak, but I get that little limey kind of bitter note like on the sides of my palate. So I'm definitely getting a little bit of that, along with those, a little bit of tobaccos, a little bit of leathers, a little bit of dust. This is like a whiskey that's like, I don't know. I'm like imagining myself like in an attic going through like old boxes of like my childhood stuff and like just drinking this whiskey. It's kind of that whiskey. So a mahogany attic would be cool.
I bet your water is going to bring this out, but I'm starting to get, it's almost starting to turn a little bit tropical. I'll throw in a little papaya and some cantaloupe or honeydew, more honeydew.
I'm with you on the cantaloupe for sure.
Yeah. Maybe a little kiwi, little mango, all around tropical starting to show. And I bet your water is going to bring that out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Nice malt, nice dusty oak.
Yeah.
Caramels, creme brulee.
There's almost like now that you said caramel and creme brulee, I'm like getting some type of like baked, spiced dessert of some sort.
How about tiramisu?
Ooh, I just had some last night.
Ooh. I got a drop of water on mine, and the sweetness is just it's brought the sweetness more up front now. More of those fruit showing. It's a fruit basket. Think of grapes, bananas, pears, apples, oranges, the papayas, cantaloupe, honeydew. It's all in there. A whole lot of fruit.
Big fruit basket with. I put 2 drops of water, very little whiskey, and I added 2 drops of water and massive fruits. And Tom R says it's like eating key lime cheesecake in the sauna with tobacco leaves on the hot rocks. Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, that's just like 97.
And Mamuka 1977 asked, "Is it rum finished?" Nope, this is all just first fill ex-bourbon.
Yeah.
So really good.
Depending on your distillery, some whiskeys, about 18 years old will start to turn tropical, and you get up there into the 20s, and it can sometimes feel like a rum finish. I mean, you just start to get coconut and kind of, those brown sugars and some of those tropical notes and stuff that it's starting to I think this barrel was just starting to transition into some of that.
Yeah, I find more of that like rummy kind of finish in a lot of grain whiskeys. And I kind of get a little bit of that in this. So what was that one we had for the December Outturn? What was that grain whiskey? What was that whiskey called? I just got rid of the bottle because it was empty. The grain from the December Outturn. There's a little bit of that in this. So if you really liked that grain whiskey from the December Outturn, then it's maybe a whiskey worth picking up. Really good.
Wow.
I know, it's like my whole palate is just like saturated.
Yeah.
The sides of my cheeks.
So this one's $185. 18 years old. We're close to that. Generally we say $10 per year. Depending on the distillery it comes from. So we're right in there. It's 18 years old, $185. Go in. I dare anybody, go into a store, find an 18-year-old that's cask strength and or even single barrel for $185 or cheaper. You won't be able to do it. This is one of those phenomenal buys. It's going to be hard to beat. And this one's coming across to me as even older. Blind, I might think this was a 21-year-old whiskey because of those tobaccos and those old leather notes and this slight tropical turn that we're starting to get into.
Yeah. And it would be interesting to see, had I tasted this blind, if I thought that it was double matured or there was some other type of cask involved in the making of this whiskey, just because it is a very distinct flavor profile that's coming through that maybe you wouldn't guess would be from just an ex-bourbon cask or first fill ex-bourbon cask. So pretty awesome.
Yeah, Mamuka says 100%. You can't talk about find a 18-year-old in a liquor store that's cheaper and better.
Yeah, it's good. And yes, the Whiskey Franco, it was a jolly good dash. This is giving me jolly good dash vibes, but like elevated. It's like elevated jolly good dash. And yes, this is here, Ty. It's like in my nasal cavity. Like this whiskey is in like every nook and cranny of my palate. And it's really awesome. This is a stunning whiskey.
Tasty notes time.
Oh. You gonna read them or you want me to read them?
Oh, you're perfect at it.
Okay. All right. So this says, strolling over a lawn of sweet biscuits, nutmeg, and sponge cake, we discovered apple pie before melon, guava, and orange donated soft fruit. All right. Well, I can see the melon, guava, orange for sure. The apple pie, I was like, there's some kind of like spiced dessert in there. Apple pie fits that bill. I really liked that. I mean, that's like lingering, like the finish is just like, I'm still tasting it in like on my palate.
I know.
Like it's still going. And I had water. All right.
Sean Spaeth says, I just poured the best dram for all metal fans out there, 71.81, His Satanic Majesty Sweetie Emporium. Yep, I've got that one still here somewhere as well. That one came out last, February, March, April, somewhere in there. Sean Spaeth, though, says, best bottle name ever. I ordered it from Scott on the phone and told him I don't even care if it's good. I just want that bottle with the name on it. Which is funny because he's ordering it because of the name. I remember I actually talked to at least one or two members that would not order that bottle because of the name on it. So, yeah, it goes both ways.
Goes both ways. I think sometimes you just have to order a bottle because the name's good.
T. Roy is asking any more of them for sale. Which one? Are you talking about the 7181?
Yeah, I know that one's long gone.
I'll look and see, but I doubt it. That would be on last drops.
I would be shocked to see
Yeah,
bottles hanging around.
7181. 0 in stock. All right, number 5.
Number 5. And we're alive.
We're going to start with a lightly peated. We do have a peated one coming up next, but we're going to start with this 13-year-old lightly peated Cask 4.312, old school with a twist. Just like Jenna's t-shirts, old school with a twist. 13-year-old Highland, lightly peated, 61.2% ABV. This was one of the batches that they did with the Distillery 4's hogsheads, where they combined several of them and then redistributed them out to different casks. This one then went into a first fill ex-bourbon barrel.
This nose is bringing me so much joy right now. Oh my gosh.
That's just because it's peated.
No. Smell it. It's not super peat. There's like,
No.
it's super faint. It's buttery. It's like buttery popcorn, like drawn butter.
Honeyed.
Honey, yeah. Honey butter. It's all the butters.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, this is like buttery.
With a very light peat.
Very light peat. Oh my gosh. Like I took a whiff of that and I was just like, oh my, I just want to like put my head in the glass. Oh my gosh.
Max, there was not a last drops today. It was last week, and that one we only had today. I looked, there was 7 bottles left on it, and I pulled 2 of them off the list. There was only 5 left from it. Malty, peaty, buttery, honeyed.
Like I want to actually like make a butter with this, like,
ooh, yeah,
like and I want to put it on something like very savory. Like I want to dunk crab legs in it, or like, but then I also want to make like a honey butter with this, and then like drizzle it on like some carrots, or like some type of dessert, or I mean, it's like you smell it and you're like, oh my gosh, it's like savory, buttery. It's like popcorn and meats. And like, I could have this with steak. And then you smell it again. And then you're like, dessert, spices, honey butter. Like, I want to put it on a bagel. Like, there's so many like options.
This actually feels like a seafood, like a fish, shrimp, crab leg, something like that you need. I'd have this with. I'd want to have this. And maybe I'm getting some of that on the nose, a white fish, salty.
Good.
Yeah, maritime. Oh, you know what it made me think of? Those the garlic butter biscuits.
Garlic butter biscuits.
Oh yeah, is it Red Lobster? You can go buy the box.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's Red Lobster has those garlic, or just garlic butter biscuits.
I don't know.
Oh.
But I'm down.
Uh-huh.
To eat any kind of garlic butter, anything with this whiskey.
Cheddar Bay biscuits. Oh yeah, Nicholas Longton. All right, going in.
Okay, I'm going in.
Mm.
Oh, shut the front door.
Katie, bar the door.
Whew.
You ever heard that?
What is it?
Katie, bar the door.
Katie bar the door?
Yeah,
I've never heard that.
getting ready to fight. Katie, bar the door shut because there's a fight going on.
Never Katie bar?
Katie, bar the door. Like you're
What
telling
is, what is a Katie bar?
No, Katie, like a girl named Katie.
Katie bar.
Katie, bar the door.
Katie bar the door.
Yeah. Means we're
No.
getting ready to scrap.
Oh, I gotta Google that. This is
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. And speaking of key lime pie on the last one, little note of that here, but honeyed right up front was just a very nice honeyed, peaty,
peat. Yes.
sweetie goodness.
Like a honeyed, like you could do like a honeyed peat on like shrimp or something. It is like, it's like maritime in a way, which is something I don't typically get with this distillery. But there is like a briny maritime kind of thing happening here. But then there is like that honeyed, peaty sweetness that like, it's like literally Chex Mix. It's like these two worlds, like savory and sweet, just like collide on your palate. Oh my gosh.
Casks and Ashes says
like
sounds like it would be a really good pairing with salted caramel dark chocolates.
Yes.
Yes, that would be a perfect pairing with this. Grilled, a little bit of grilled pineapple.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Almost getting like, there is like a grilled element to this. And I know you said papaya like 2 whiskeys ago, but I'm getting a little bit of that papaya here. And it's like, I don't know, it's just buttery. This whiskey, like palate, nose, it is just a butter bomb.
This is one of the better distillery 4s we've had.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's the 13 years. A lot of them been 10, 11. I mean, we've had a couple older ones, 19 years and stuff, but this one, there is really so much of that honeyed. The Kelly
and Pete Reek, which I loved because I thought it was like very nostalgic. 13 years as well. And this is right up there with it. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it's apparent on that first sip, as soon as it hits your tongue.
Just nosing it. You're like, oh, I'm going to like this.
I think your papaya, though, might be that grilled pineapple.
Yeah.
I was saying, even some grilled oranges, what kind of grilled citrus, some chopped lemons and limes and oranges and pineapple all on a grill, maybe even some whitefish on there. Oh, I better add a drop of water. I was about ready to take my 4th sip neat.
I'm not adding water. I think it's perfect the way it is.
So this is our 5th whiskey, the 3rd one over 60% ABV, and our last dram of the night, which we're not moving on to yet, not moving that quick, but it's even higher.
I mean, and this could be because this is our 5th very high ABV whiskey of the night, but this does drink like really soft, and not like soft in a bad way. Like it is a soft, creamy, like viscous, really nice texture, really nice mouthfeel. It drinks really beautifully. Yeah, I'm a big fan of these whiskey.
With water, I had a faint hint of something, and I was just trying to pin down what that was. And as quick as it was there, it was gone. Not sure what it was. I'm sure that was a great story.
Maybe it's in the tasting notes.
I just added my 2nd drop of water, so while you're reading the notes, I'll see if I get anything here with 2 rounds of water.
All right. So this says smoked accompanied by scallops with a Spanish touch. A single malt originally from bourbon hogsheads, married in a first fill bourbon barrel. Well, that's not super detailed in the tasting notes.
Wow. Ooh. Let's see here.
Ooh, but this would be good with like some paella.
With what?
Some paella.
Oh, mm-hmm.
That would be fantastic. Oh my gosh. Now I want that.
Ooh.
Paella and a little bit of this whiskey. Woo. Ty says lighter than back of the kitchen cupboard. So, I think this one's more like, and I would love to know if you think the same thing, Scott. That 66, the back of the kitchen cupboard. I think this one's more maritime. Like the peat profiles are very different here. This just has like a more coastal, briny, buttery quality. And the peat, I would say, is probably a little bit lighter than the back of the kitchen cupboard. Just my opinion.
That one was just last month, wasn't it? Back of the kitchen cupboard. Yeah, December.
Mm-hmm.
I think water was really helping that one. More of the sweetness and those grilled fruits were really coming out. Wow. I can still taste it. And I don't know, that one could almost be peated, I think.
Do what?
I say that one could almost be in the peated category. I mean, that's one of the heavier, lightly peated.
I thought it was a little lighter, but I'm gonna.
All right. Doom, doom, doom. Everyone's waiting for number 6.
Yeah, I think the peat on the back of the kitchen cupboard is more like meaty. It's like a meatier, like heartier style of peat, whereas the peat in this 4.312 is more maritime, coastal, and so they just sit differently on your palate.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. All right.
That 4, old school with a twist that we just looked at. Blind, I might think that was Distillery 53 because of that maritime kind of salty whitefish, grilled fruits, all that was in there with it. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I just really like that coastal, buttery. Like now I just want like paella and oysters and crab legs. And I just want to like have a feast on all of that stuff now with that whiskey. Definitely makes you hungry. Last one.
Last one. And we're at 64% ABV. Woo-wee. Our 4th of 6 whiskeys over 60% ABV. I got to give us a round of applause just for making it this far.
We did it.
Cask 16.61 under the Rudar. 8-year-old Highland, peated, 64% ABV. This is a recharred hogshead and will be available for $110.
This distillery has become so popular for good reason.
8 years old, but that recharred hogshead has really imparted a lot of color on this one. So this one I have not tasted yet. Peanuts. Nuttiness.
I got brittle too, actually. I was like,
yeah.
Is this like a smoky, meaty sweetness? Brittle?
Wow. That one is jumping out of the glass a little bit.
Yeah.
I got a pretty hefty pour here. I didn't mean to pour quite that much.
I was going to try not to use the glass that I used before because I only have 4 glasses because I've broken a bunch.
I always pour a little bit extra and then mine go into infinity bottles, which I give to Bart because Bart drinks anything.
Lucky Bart.
Well, I'm still malt. There's a malt, almost a what's the marsh, kind of like a marshland.
Yeah.
This is Scotland, but it just kind of reminds me of like you're in a swamp, and the marshland is growing up. The grass is growing up out of the water.
It's malty, it's meaty, it's sweet, it's peaty. It's like there's like a fruity quality to this, which I don't typically find on this distillery. Like usually when I've tasted these cask from this distillery, it's like smoked meats and like bacon and grass and like it's like camping. This one I find to be a little sweeter than ones I have had in the past.
Trevor Dunbar is asking what infinity bottles are. Infinity bottles, every whiskey that you have, some people will pour just a little bit in there, a half ounce. You buy a bottle, you pour it into your infinity bottle, and you have a dram from it every once in a while, and it comes down so you got room to pour in new whiskeys. I'm basically saying my SMW. We've gone through 6 whiskeys tonight, and I've got hefty pours left in each glass. I'll combine them all. I've got several bottles over here that are full actually, and then they'll all go in. I'll just keep mixing them, blending them all together. All my kind of leftovers, I guess you could say. It's my leftovers infinity bottles. But that way, when people are doing that with their infinity bottles, with every whiskey that they buy, there's always a touch of all of your whiskey in there. Now it's gonna, each one's gonna get less and less over time, but if you've gone through 200 whiskeys, there's still a little bit of that very first whiskey you poured in there. So now some people will separate the peat from like the sherries and things like that. They may have a peated infinity bottle or a sherried infinity bottle, a bourbon infinity.
I like that idea. Like all ex-bourbon, all sherry, all peat. I like that.
Yep. T. Roy says he recently filled a peated infinity bottle. It's so delicious. The whiskey zone is confused by leftovers. Yeah.
Why do baby pours?
Okay. Did you taste this one yet?
I tasted it, and that's why I'm not saying anything yet until you've tasted it.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I don't want to, like you're tasting it and then I'm like, oh, it tastes like Captain Crunch and, I don't know, freaking meatloaf. I don't want to ruin your palate.
I might say toasted Fruit Loops.
Oh, okay. So we're on the cereal train.
Oh, ooh, boy, peaty, toasted oak. I mean, I would stick with Fruit Loops. Actually, you brought up, I wouldn't have thought, I don't know if I'd have thought of Fruit Loops, but you kind of threw that cereal one at me, and then Fruit Loops came to mind. Brown sugar, just a caramel brittle, brown sugar caramel brittle. Ooh, mossy, waxy, a little bit of
waxy.
Yeah, a little bit of like a coconut board wax.
Ooh. When I first tasted it, it was like I'm like chewing for 10 minutes. I'm like the best piece of beef jerky I've ever had in my life. And then I have like a big spoonful of just like jam after that. There is this fruity element to this whiskey that I cannot knock, but it is like beef jerky. It's like smoked meats. It is like great, like you said, grassy. It's not like I don't get like the big campfire note on this that I usually find on this distillery. Yeah, it's like beef jerky and jam. That's so weird.
As you were describing some of that meatiness, rhubarb came to mind.
That's it. That is it. That is it. It is like it's like rhubarb jam, like some type of rhubarb like tart or like jelly and beef jerky.
Yeah.
Like I'm smelling it even empty in the glass, and it is so fruity. I'm shocked. I'm just like, I cannot. It's fruity, peaty, meaty, rhubarby.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Ty Whitaker is asking, does anyone know what Ruidar is? Name of a lake or a body of water?
So the name of this particular distillery, I'm assuming they got it from that. I want to say it's like a fun play on Under the Radar, but this distillery is Ruadmore, so I'm assuming it's like under the Ruad Radar. I don't know. That's my guess.
Maybe they meant under the rhubarb.
There you go. It might be.
That's what Josh Taylor said. They misspelled rhubarb.
It is rhubarb and beef jerky.
Delicious.
And actually, my husband's making beef jerky right now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
after this tasting, I'm gonna stuff my face with beef jerky. I don't have any rhubarb here to test it, but I'm definitely gonna taste this with a little beef jerky.
Wow.
It's so good. It's so different than any of the other 16s I've had.
Yeah.
Like, I actually want to go back and do some side by sides of some of the other ones I have because, I mean, obviously I don't remember every single whiskey that I've tasted, but this particular distillery does stand out. It is, it's very unique in its profile, at least for me. And I've not had one that is like this fruity before, which is like kind of blowing my mind.
Wow. Yeah, Thomas Scanlon says that Ruad Moor is a peated Glen Turret.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, peated whiskey's coming there. So it's kind of a play on the Ruad Moor, like you said, Rudar, under the Rudar.
Ruidar.
I got a drop of water here.
Oh, yep. Doing the hard work for us, Scott. Somewhere in here, am I 16? I gotta go back and do a little side by side of those.
We do this so you don't have to. The people watching.
Oh yes.
Me and Jenna. Yeah.
Wow. Handle the neat stuff. Scott will handle the neat and water stuff.
Water, not hurting this one at all. Everything expanding. More of the sweetness showing even now. That rhubarb pie has gotten sweeter. They added more sugar to it. Wow.
Maybe like strawberry rhubarb.
Oh, strawberry rhubarb. Good call. Ooh.
So you're just in the Highlands. It's wet. You're in your boots, your wellies. It's a little chilly. There's like some meat drying or smoking kind of to the side. Somebody's made a beautiful strawberry rhubarb pie. Yeah, sign me up. I want to go there.
All right, I think we're ready for tasting notes off of the bottle.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I could smell that all day long. All right, so this says an underrated style. This is a big, in all caps, gusty and hugely charismatic peated whiskey. Meaty, smoky, earthy, deeply tarry, and brilliant for its age.
Sure.
Yeah, I get the meaty,
wow,
a little smoky, a little earthy. Can see the earthy part, but I just can't get over just like the fruity, like rhubarby strawberry thing that's going on in this whiskey. I mean, this is like, it's just so different from any of the other ones I've had. I really like it.
So I did 2 drop. I like this neat. I liked it with 1 round of water, 2 rounds of water. And I just added a third. I was like, well, let's bring it down a little bit further and see what happens. Because this one is very good on the palate.
And John Bourne, to answer your question, we are going to have 87 of these tomorrow.
Water is not hurting this one at all. Wow, it's still glorious after 3 rounds of water. Wow, that's it's still burning into my palate, into my gums, the back of my tongue. All of those notes we've talked about. Just
I think they should just let us plan a trip, because the Whiskey Franco said, if that doesn't happen the next time in the Highlands, I'm going to be disappointed. I think that we should be able to plan this like very fantastical trip where we like bring our tasting notes to life, right? Like, how cool would it be if a group of us were in the Highlands eating strawberry rhubarb pie, like smoking meat, drinking whiskey? Like, how cool would that be to like have an experience of like bringing tasting notes to life? I want to do that.
Yeah, very nice indeed. So I have, let's see here somewhere, the list. of whiskeys. There's someone had asked earlier too how many whiskeys are going to be coming out tomorrow. There's 14 on the list, but I think one of them got pulled. I think the 9. I think we had a 9. Was it the 9 that did not make the?
I think so.
It's on the list. Here we go. Had to find the right button.
And Cask and Ashes, to answer your question, I have not lived in a Commonwealth country, but my grandmother was from England, and my dad and my grandmother had a very big impact on how, I don't know, I eat food and things I like to taste and the way I talk. So I have to give it up to my grandmother for that.
Woo. All right. There we go. Everybody see the list coming out tomorrow?
There it is.
Get your screen grabs. Ooh. Yeah, I think the one at the bottom, we didn't get the list edited. 9.228 Picnic in the Grove, 14-year-old will not be available tomorrow. Everything else will be.
Everything else will be there.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and we did 6 of them. So there's 7 more.
We see a 13 in there, some 26s, a number 1, that 25-year 42. I mean, I can only imagine that's.
What happened to the 23? Or is that mid-month? Should I say that?
Scott, don't be dropping hints.
33, 43.
83, 73.
17, 11. What was it? All right, everybody got their screen.
And Tom R., to answer your question, the very top bottle on that list is always going to be your bottle of the month. So I think it was number 1.
Does she copy them over that way? I know Paige makes that list up for us. I can check real quick to confirm.
I'm pretty sure it's
somewhere.
Let's
see, January 20. Make sure I got the right year. The bottle of the month is 1.258. Is that what was at the top?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yep, 1.258 will be the bottle of the month.
Well, we made it.
Yeah, we made all 6. 4 heavy hitters in there. This one, I'll tell you what, that Under the Rudar is
yeah, it's
a tasty beverage.
I have to say the 4 Distillery 4 is, I don't know. That's probably one I'm gonna
see if anybody gets this movie reference. It's like a Big Kahuna burger. Vincent, you ever had a Big Kahuna burger?
Are we talking Pulp Fiction?
Yeah. I was gonna wait and see if commenters would pick that one out. Yeah. Mind if I have some of your tasty beverage to wash this down?
Oh, Pulp Fiction. That's a great movie. I haven't seen that in quite some time.
Yeah.
Gotta go back and watch that.
Yep. All right, Jenna. Well, I think we better wrap this one up after all that drinking.
All right, let's do it.
Good thing we weren't swigging, glugging.
Oh, wait. I don't have anything to cheers you with. Darn.
You can remedy that.
This is why I do baby pours. All right. Take it away, Scott.
Le Royale with cheese. That's right.
Le Royale.
You know what? That's a quarter pounder.
Oh.
They use Le Royale because of the
blueberry pancakes.
They don't know what a quarter pounder is. Yeah. How was your, I'm sorry, babe. How was your waffles? Were they good? Thanks, everybody that tuned in. And remember, Scotch Malt Whiskey Society whiskeys are not for swigging, glugging, or knocking back. Please drink responsibly. Cheers.